I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot. We grinding every day, ain't no other way. I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'm finally going to be giving you a little bit of a review of my new camera, which is the Nikon Z6ii with the 24-70 2.8 lens. And it's been kind of hard to get used to this camera and just test it out really because of being stuck inside due to the virus and everything like that. But today I'm finally going out and getting some photos with this. I'm doing a shoot with my friend Bailey and her boyfriend Dre. We're going to an arcade and maybe a few other locations, so we're gonna get a good test out of this camera, and I will show you all those photos, and I'll give you a little bit of behind the scenes, what it feels like shooting with the new camera, and I'll tell you my thoughts on my decision to switch from DSLR to mirrorless. So I will talk to you guys next when we're with Bailey and Dre, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Definitely subscribe and stay tuned because I keep saying this, but I have a few videos coming, and 2021 is gonna be a huge year because I'm gonna make a ton of videos. So I will talk to you guys shortly.
I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot. We grinding every day, ain't no other way. I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot. We out here every day, ain't no other way. I work hard for what I got, now I'm standing at the top. Used to dream about that Bentley, now I pull it off the lot. They didn't wanna see me when they mad, I made it off the block. The whole city know I'm hot, I'm the shit and they can stop it. This money bring a whole lot of hoes, it's suicidal every time I look.
So guys, we just went to the arcade. Don't worry, we're COVID safe. We got the masks on and everything. And we got some awesome shots with the Nikon Z6ii. I got a few video clips, and I think we filmed a TikTok or two, so go follow me. I'll put all my socials down in the description, and I'll put the models down in the description as well, Dre and Bailey. Now we're gonna actually head over to the Dollar Tree. And over there, hopefully we'll get some more like the retro vibe shots. The arcade was definitely a great test of the low light capabilities of this camera, and we got some awesome shots in there.
Yeah, my pocket's getting swole. She said she never miss a show. She fuck with me cause I'm a pro. She give me brain before I smoke. Then I pulled off in that foreign. She said her boyfriend's not important. I think that last night she was rolling. But now I gotta go, get right back to that door. I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot. We grinding every day.
Hey guys, I'm here in my makeshift studio to talk about the details of the new Nikon Z6ii. As I said in the real world part of this review, I've been using it for about a month and a half now, and it's been superb. It's been an awesome new camera. I love using it. It's definitely a little bit different than my old camera, but I think it's gonna be the perfect camera for me, and I'm definitely getting used to mirrorless faster than I thought I would. So we went to the arcade with this, me, Bailey, and Dre, and we got some awesome photos in the arcade. Tested out the low light capabilities, was shooting with the 24-70 2.8, so I was at a really low aperture the whole time and a fairly high ISO, and you can see in the images that the ISO quality is just so much better than my old camera. The full frame just definitely makes the difference, and the fact that it's new technology and mirrorless is awesome. So I just wanted to talk about a few other things, like how I'm feeling with this camera, how I have been using it, and what it's like with my main wildlife lens, which is the reason why I stuck with Nikon instead of switching to a different brand. So to talk about the main few things is that the autofocus is awesome. I haven't had any trouble with the autofocus. The only time that I've had a few issues is with the old lens, my 300mm f4, which is fairly old even for my DSLR, so it's fairly old for this mirrorless camera, and it has the adapter on it, so that definitely makes the autofocus a bit slower and a bit worse. But it's still been able to lock onto my wildlife targets that I've been focusing on. I took a few deer shots the other night that looked pretty cool, and that's basically the only wildlife that I used with that lens so far. So a few other things to talk about with this camera is the fact that it has the dual card slots on the side here. It has the one SD card and then the one XQD card, and that has been fantastic. That's the exact same as my D500, so that has been perfect. I didn't need to buy any more XQD cards since they're ridiculously expensive, and I shoot mainly just straight to the SD card, and then if I have overflow, it'll go to the XQD card. I'm not one of those photographers that needs 2 copies of all their images. I've never had any issues with any of my SD cards, so I just use the second slot as overflow, and it's actually come in handy because with my other camera, I was more used to looking on the top and checking how many photos I have left, but the screen up here, that's a little bit smaller than the Nikon D500. I haven't really been looking at the top of the camera that much. I've been using the back because I'm getting used to the LED screen, so I haven't really been keeping track of how many photos I've taken on the card, or if I needed to change cards and whatnot. So when I was shooting the earlier part of this review, I actually ended up going over on the one SD card and it went to the XQD card perfectly. So yeah, it's been great having the 2 card slots. And now another thing is the dual processors, and everything on this camera has been super fast. It's been very responsive, quick to lock on to focusing, and it's just fantastic with those dual processors. Definitely much faster than my old camera. As soon as I take my shots, I can show my model right away. The photos pop up on the back of the screen much faster than my old camera, and it's just been really quick and really responsive. And then with the autofocus, it has been perfect for portraits. The eye detection is amazing, and it locks on to anybody's eyes like as far away as you can think of. It's really good, and I've had no issues with that. I have yet to test it out that much with wildlife. The only shots, as I said earlier, I did a few deer photos out in a field near my house yesterday, and those came out fairly good and it locked onto it, but I wasn't close enough to the deer to actually lock onto the eye of an animal. So I will definitely do a wildlife review with this camera, and I think I might be getting the 70-200 and possibly a larger zoom lens that I can definitely do a more in-depth review. And then along with that, one thing that I've had a hard time getting used to is just the fact that the grip is a little bit smaller. I'm used to the D500 here that has a bigger handhold that you can fit all your fingers on, where this one my pinky kind of falls off the bottom of it a little bit, so I've decided to buy the battery grip as well, so I can shoot sideways attached onto the bottom and have a secondary battery also, so the shooting will last longer. The batteries I found also, I've tried the Usbc charging through the camera, and that's worked perfectly. I don't even need to take the battery out of the camera. I still do that sometimes, but if I'm in a rush or in my car or something and I need to charge it, I can definitely plug in the Usb-C and charge it without even have to get out a battery charger or having to carry that around in my camera bag all day. So along with that, I haven't really tested out the video capabilities of this camera yet. I did a few video shots in the arcade and on that photo shoot with Bailey, but I will obviously have shown you those already. That'll be a good test of the vibration reduction inside the camera, but I think I have a video shoot coming up at the end of January, so I will probably test this camera out a little bit then. I'll probably still use the M50, but I will probably try to attach this onto the gimbal, the Ronin SC, and see how that turns out. I'm sure it'll be fantastic. The autofocus in video has been great, and I definitely need to set it up a little bit better because when I'm shooting just normal photos, I use back button autofocus, but for video, I don't think that is the way to go, so I'll definitely have to check out all those settings and dive into the video side of this camera a little bit more. But for those of you who are looking to get a very solid new mirrorless camera, I would definitely recommend this. I haven't been able to compare it to any other cameras, such as the Sony or the Canons, but from someone who just had a Nikon lens that I wanted to keep and just keep with Nikon, and if you have Nikon glass already, I definitely think this is the way to go. The adapter has been really good on the 300mm behind me, and I've had no issues with that. So if you have, say, a 70-200 or a 24-70 that's not the mirrorless kind, like this one, you can definitely get that adapter for a fairly affordable price, and I don't think you'll see any drop in quality because there's not even glass in the adapter. It's just a mount adapter. So the only downside that I can think of on the top of my head is the fact that I've had a little bit more vignetting with this camera. So the edges of the photos that I've been taking have been a little bit darker, and I've definitely had to correct that in Lightroom, but that's not really a big deal, and I don't know why that's occurring. Maybe it's because of the lens or the conditions I was shooting in or something like that, but yeah, there's a little bit more vignetting I've noticed on my photos from this camera than my old camera. So, and then a few other things with this camera is that I haven't gotten used to these function buttons yet. I didn't really use the function buttons on my old camera, but I'm sure once I get into the habit of shooting with this new camera more, I'll assign those functions to something that will be helpful for me. Maybe I can use those buttons to switch focus or to switch to video or something like that. But besides that, I would definitely say that this is a great camera to buy if you want a mirrorless camera, a full frame mirrorless camera, and you have Nikon glass. I would say definitely worth the purchase. If you're someone who shoots a lot of vertical like I do, I would definitely recommend getting the battery grip. I'm gonna get that, and I'll probably do a little bit of a review on that as well. So like I said, I will show you guys all those photos that we took out in the field. We went to the arcade, we went to that Dollar Tree. Those were both very similar, like retro style portraits. And then to continue the retro theme, actually, after we went to the Dollar Tree, we went across the street to the laundromat and got a few cool photos in the laundromat as well. And then after the laundromat, we actually went to an abandoned building, as we did like 4 locations in one day. And I think I took about 1,700 photos, and that was all on one battery charge. I think that I had to charge it a little bit in their car, maybe when I was at like 1,600 photos, because we went to the abandoned building and that was a long drive and it was on the last bar. The battery was on the last bar, so I figured I'd plug it into the USB-C. I didn't have to get my charger out or anything like that. I didn't have to switch batteries. I just did a little bit of charge in the car, and then I got another 100 photos out of it. So the battery is definitely better than I think they're stating it is. They were saying that you might only get like 400 something photos out of one battery, but that is definitely not the case. I got like 1,600. So I don't really know what the details are there. Maybe that's on different settings or something, but I think the battery is really good. I am gonna get the battery grip, and that is for just the fact that I like shooting vertical a lot. I do a lot of portraits and a lot of Instagram photos, so those are usually vertical, and I think the battery grip will just be more comfortable for my hand because I do have fairly big hands. That fits really well on the D500 here. Like you can see I don't have any, my pinky doesn't fall off at all, and I have a good grip on the camera. But with the Z6ii, my pinky is right on the edge. It's right on the edge of falling off, so I do kind of want that little bit of extra space and the ability to shoot vertically with the grip. So when that comes in, I will definitely do a little bit of a review on the grip. I will do a review on the 70-200, which I'm most likely gonna get soon as well. So that is probably gonna be it for this video. Hopefully this helped you decide on if you wanna buy this camera or not. And yeah, that's about it. I will talk to you guys in the next video. I'm not sure what it'll be, but I will see you there.
I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot. We grinding every day, ain't no other way. I'ma give it all I got, all I got. Like 23, I stay on top, stay on top. I do it like it's my last shot, my last shot. We out here every day, ain't no other way. Dripping like a mop, I go hard, I never stop. Got Versace on my flops, you see diamonds when I talk. I got bands, that's all I need. I got Louis on my sheets, work so hard I never sleep. Too drunk smoking by the beach, got her naked on a yacht. She get anything she want, she said please don't break my heart. But I can't never love no thought, I'm too busy chasing guap. I blow bags when I go shop, she can't wait for me to drop. I'm the man, bitch, what you thought? This money bring a whole lot of hoes. It's suicidal every time I lift my doors. I couldn't imagine doing this shit when I was broke.